Hi there, greetings and salutations from the Haulin. Derek, we begin this program with, and I know you've always wanted to do this. You know, this is the time of year I saw that, like, some kid just decommitted from whatever school, and now there's another, like, 5-star that's announcing today, and everybody's excited, and that means cap dance and pick the hat and all that. Right? I get to do it today. I'm doing the cap dance because here we are in this, the third week in October, and it's all about the blue, baby. Everything is about the blue. Believe in blue. Yeah. Come on, you boys in blue. That's, I think, the Indy 11. All of it, right? And I have not one but two caps for which we can choose. You tell me.
Aren't you a Reds fan?
American League Championship Series.
That's not a thing anymore.
No, listen.
We've had interleague for like
Derek,
25 years.
I've told this story for 50 years. Well, not that long because it's only been 40 that the stories existed. But I grew up a Reds fan. Yes, you are correct. The Reds, my at its core childhood team, if you will. But when I was a kid, we took a family trip to Ontario Place in Toronto. And then after that, I got a bunch of autographs. Lloyd Mosby, Jesse Barfield, Tony Fernandez, George Bell. Got autographs of the Blue Jays. I've been a Blue Jays. That's my American League team. I've been a diehard Blue Jays fan.
Diehard?
And then, yes. And then they won the World Series in 93. Joe Carter, walk-off. I had the newspaper. I had it framed. Too. They did. But 93 was the walk-off. I have the framed newspaper, all of it, right? And then this year, I went to Fenway to go see the Red Sox, your beloved Red Sox. Ugh. And when I went to the game, I saw them play the Blue Jays, who were in the middle of an 8-game streak. They won 9-0. Alejandro Kirk ran around the bases. He looked like a fat penguin. It made me laugh. So therefore,
he is funny to watch run.
Which one shall I go with today?
Oh, man, that one's got a World Series patch on it. You got to do the World Series patch.
And it's fresh. I mean, that shows you I'm a fan, right?
I mean, I kind of like the blue on blue here. But, yeah, you got to go with the – they're in the series. You got to go with the World Series patch.
Hang on.
And I like the paneled hats where it's the different colors. I'm not much of a hat guy. I look weird in hats.
I mean,
but that's sharp.
You like it?
Yeah, that's sharp. I like that a lot. It's iconic. I mean, as much as I really, I shouldn't say I dislike the Blue Jays. I don't necessarily, Vlad Jr. and God, George Springer has just been a winner everywhere that he's been.
Here's the thing.
There's a lot to like about the Blue Jays, but I think that their uniforms and their color scheme are iconic.
And I don't dislike the Mariners. And, that would have been cool, too, because the Mariners,
they're the only baseball team that has really never won anything.
Yeah, and they kind of came out of nowhere this year. You just don't hear a lot about them because of where they play. But I thought they were super cocky in the ALCS.
The Mariners?
Yes. Like when the Mariners had that game where it would have been game 5.
Suarez hit the big home run and Grand Slam.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flexing going on.
I don't know, man. I think that's just baseball now. Guys just celebrate more openly than they used to.
But it was a pretty awesome game, pretty fun game. But nonetheless, the obvious story, 3 of them, okay? And we're not doing anything here that hasn't been mentioned 1,000 times over, but we're going to re-emphasize it. The number 1 team in the National Football League, the best team in the NFL, the most balanced offense, the most potent offense, the best chemistry right now between a head coach and his quarterback. The best team in the NFL is the Indianapolis Colts. They are the number 1 seed in the AFC if the playoffs began today, which they don't. They are already distancing themselves from the AFC South, which it's been forever since we've been able to say that. But the Indianapolis Colts are the best team in the National Football League. And I think potentially the best team in college football. The Indiana Fighting Hoosiers. Indiana has the best win in college football. They are right now the team that, I know Ohio State's really good. Don't get me wrong. But they're the talk of college football, and they've been as good a program as you can get over the last 12 to 18 months. And then in basketball, number 1 team in the land going into the year, and the one that is loaded and ready to go, the Purdue Boilermakers. What a time to be in Central Indiana, Derek.
Yeah, Fever coming off an overtime. They were an overtime away from the WNBA Finals, and that was without Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham and so many of their best players. The Pacers coming off a Finals appearance, and their season is about to get underway this week. Yeah, you're right. I mean, we kind of went through it here in this town for a while where there was nothing really happening the last couple of years. The Colts were stuck in the middle. The Pacers were sort of the same. And I think things tend to follow suit with the top pro teams, right? But now, I mean, you would have to go back to like the very early 2010s when Crean had IU basketball cooking, right? The Fever won the WNBA championship, the early Andrew Luck years, the Hill, Hibbert, George, Pacers teams. That was the last time that you had this many teams performing at a high level. But this Colts thing, Jake, I think maybe we were too pessimistic. Last year was just a disaster. Like last year, the Colts were 8-9. They were much closer to a 5 or 6 win team than they were a 10 or 11 win team. Like they were fortunate to be 8-9. And you thought to yourself, okay, all of these guys, this core has been around forever. They've never won anything. They're just good players. They're not great players. They can't get quarterback figured out. We're out on the general manager. After the way the last season went where he pushed all the wrong buttons, I found myself out on Shane Steichen after year 2, which is way too early probably to be out on an NFL head coach. And look, here they are. The defense has issues, and we can talk about the defense.
Derek, I want to get to that because we had it up there where it said the Colts are the most complete team in the NFL. I don't agree with that. They're the most complete offense in the NFL. But I don't think you can say they're the most complete team. And I don't know which that would be at this point, but the Colts' lack of pass rush is the one thing that concerns me. And look, right now, the Colts have arguably the coach of the year. They have arguably the offensive player of the year. They have arguably the most valuable player, and they have arguably the comeback player of the year. But none of those guys are on the defensive side.
He can't be comeback player of the year because they changed it now. You have to be coming back from injury or illness now. Did you see that?
Well, he was ill. He had the illness of
playing for a New York football franchise. Yeah, that was what he was afflicted with.
But point taken here. But my point is this: their defense is not horrific. I'm not saying that, but what I can see in this team, unfortunately, right now, and there are still time to repair this, but what I see right now is a team that can score a ton of points. That looks like it is a foregone conclusion that they're going to go into December or January. They are going to be one of the red-hot teams. They're going to get in there, and they're going to go up against, maybe even at home, a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen-led offense in a shootout, and it's going to be 31-30. It's going to be like one of those old Trent Green versus Peyton Manning, Colts-Chiefs games, whatever. And late in the game, they're going to need a stop, and one of those two is going to carve them up and go down the field because they cannot get pressure on the quarterback. They've got to address that situation.
Yeah, and it stinks because, like, corner, they have an excuse. They've just had a ridiculous amount of injuries at corner. Whereas at edge, you use 2 1s.
And you can Derek, you can offset corner deficiencies if you're getting rush.
Yeah. But you use 2 top 15 picks on edge. I mean, They drafted Kwity Paye. People forget about Kwity Paye because he's had a very anonymous career. Like, Kwity Paye is the definition of just a guy. Right. Like, he's not a good player. He's not a bad player. He's just kind of there. And you can look at a stat sheet and be like, oh, Kwity Paye had 8 sacks. None of it. I can't remember a single sack in Kwity Paye's career that has mattered. Honestly, and I'm not trying to be hard on the guy, but he's just, he's great against the run, but you don't draft a first-round edge thinking, hey, he's going to be a great run defender. Right. You want him to get after the quarterback. And Latu, you can hand me every pressure sheet that you want. I mean, pressures are great, but pressures are only great if they actually result in sacks sometimes.
Derek.
And they never result in sacks with Latu, it feels like.
Late in that game.
Or they rarely do.
Late in that game against the Chargers. And to the Colts' credit, the game was, for the most part, already taken care of. But late in the game, there was still mathematically and clockwise a chance for the Chargers to come back and force an overtime. They were down 2 scores with 4 minutes to go, something like that. Justin Herbert, who's a very good quarterback, was rushed slightly. But on the final drive, if I'm not mistaken, Latu wasn't on the field.
Oh, he was gassed, yeah.
He took himself out. I mean, I don't know if he took himself out, but he literally was not on the field. The guy that was, Chris Ballard, we just got the best defender in the draft, the best pass rusher in the draft, and everybody wondered why he was taken 15th. Maybe are we seeing it? I don't know. I mean, it's very early to make that summary of him. It's only been a season and a half, but you would think we would start to see it by now.
Well, he has to just turn the pressures into results, and it sounds simple, but it's, he is forcing the quarterback to move from his spot and making them uncomfortable. Like that, you can see it with Latu. It's just he's not closing the deal. You know what I mean? He's hitting a bunch of warning track fly balls, it feels like.
I would like to make a public service announcement if I could right here. the best way to summarize this. This is what I try to do. I try to come up with ways that are relatable for you folks that you can put away the abacus. We're just going to do this as simple mathematics. Okay? Simple mathematics. Derek Liatu right now is Derek Schultz with women in college, right? Applies a lot of pressure.
No, that makes me sound like a creep.
Applies a lot of pressure. Gets within range, never closes the deal, right?
No, that's not true.
It's exactly what you just said it yourself. How did you describe him?
Me in college, I would
in the vicinity. Just when you realize that he's within vicinity, can't close the deal, and then everybody else moves on. Pretty much summarizes your social life from age like 15 to 25.
I don't even know what the comparison would be, but I mostly took on what I had. So when I was in the checkout line, hypothetically, I checked out with what I knew was already in my bag. I didn't put anything on the what is it, the moving tarmac thing? What's that called?
The conveyor belt?
Yeah, the conveyor belt thing. I didn't put anything on there that I wasn't sure I was going to be able to purchase. Does that make sense?
I had to use the
I didn't pressure anything. No, I want to get that out of the way.
I had to use the little plastic bar thing.
Yeah.
Just to separate my orders from others because people couldn't even tell where it began and ended.
Yeah, but this was all like later on. Like you told me this. You were more of a late bloomer when it came to that. and the flower did bloom. It just took a little while.
Okay.
It took a little while.
Okay.
Let's get back to the Colts. So look, we're complaining about the pass rush and we're complaining about Ballard said this about Latu and maybe he was wrong. Jake, do you know what they're averaging per drive? Points per drive? There's a metric called points per drive. So every time the Colts touch the ball, do you want to guess how many points they're averaging?
5.7.
Well, no, I mean, that's ridiculous, but 3.62.
Okay.
It is the most efficient offense this century in the NFL. In the 21st century, through 7 games, the Colts are the most efficient offense.
I don't think
better than the 07 Patriots, Jake.
I don't think we can start talking
Brady and Moss
this century until we're like 50 years into it.
What's 25 years? 25 years is a big sample.
But when you say this century, I think to myself, like, wow. I mean, like, you're telling me, like, the 37 Giants, and I'm like, oh, that's right. That was 20th century.
Yeah, but you're old. Like, somebody like Charlie, like, this is his whole life, essentially. Like, this century is a big chunk.
But a century, we're only a quarter of the way through it.
Okay. I can't believe you're poo-pooing this stat.
It's like the
2018 Chiefs. Like, you think about some of the truly unbelievable, unstoppable NFL offenses lately.
Can you say
the Lions from a couple of years ago?
That's the most beautiful bird I've seen all day when it's 6 o'clock in the morning.
My point
you're only a quarter of the way through the day.
That technically speaking, when the Colts have had a drive that has resulted in a field goal, that has been a disappointment from what they're producing. Like, this offense,
I get it.
It's insane. It's insane what they're doing.
Yes.
And this whole thing, like,
they're
did you see this coming? Did you know this was? Nobody could have possibly seen that this was coming. I don't care what you say about Pittman's a good player and Pierce a good player. They have a good line and Jones has experience. No one could have known that this was going to be the Brady Moss offense as far as production is concerned so far through the first 7 games.
And here's what, to me, Derek, let me ask you this question. Here's my Colts query, okay? I could trademark that. Here's my Colts query. Kind of like, why not Indiana?
Okay, yeah, go ahead and make it some.
Did Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen, and let me preface with this, I don't think we'll ever know this answer, honestly. But do you believe, Derek, that Chris Ballard and Shane Steichen signed Daniel Jones because they looked at it and said, this guy has a potential and a talent level that has not been completely tapped into, but has shown flashes, and with given the right pieces and the pieces we have, this guy is a player? Or did they sign him because Anthony Richardson has a ton of physical traits, but we've got to somehow awaken the necessity in him, so we need to go out and get a guy that has some starts just to kind of push him along and show him how to behave in the film room?
I mean, I think it's the former, but they thought they were probably going to get a little bit of the latter from it too, right? Just by osmosis, having Jones in the room, having an adult in the room was going to help Richardson in his preparation because they knew, everything that we knew about Daniel Jones, say what you want about him as a player in the Giants. He was a consummate professional. He was beloved in the locker room and respected in the locker room, and he prepared his you-know-what off. Like, we knew those three things going in. Now, that didn't result in much with the Giants, but we knew those core things. Those were the pros about signing Daniel Jones.
Okay, let me ask you this. In all seriousness, last week when we talked, you mentioned the name of the girl that jilted you after a semester of college. What was her name?
Yeah, Ann.
Okay.
I mean, I try to focus on the good times that we had for 4.5 months, 5 months.
So when you went back and Ann said to you, it's over, okay?
She didn't say it that harshly.
But were you under the initial assumption, and I'm not throwing you under the bus here, we all have been there. Were you under the initial assumption that maybe things were slowing down, but you guys were going to kind of try to, figure things out and still be around each other for a while?
I mean, I would say my initial assumption was that my life was over. Okay. If I'm just being honest.
So my real question is this. Did you, how often after that did you see Ann?
Well, a lot. She was on the floor above me, and we had the same friend group.
Ann?
Right food court.
Did you hang out with her?
A little bit.
But once it was over, right?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony Richardson with the Colts?
Oh, yeah. Anthony Richardson won't be on the roster next year because he's going to want to go somewhere else where he's got a chance and all of that. I mean, where we sit today, they're going to extend Jones, right? I mean,
I would assume.
It's over. Yeah, Anthony Richardson's not going to, barring injury or something like that or garbage time, Anthony Richardson's not going to take a quarterback snap with the Colts again.
Yeah.
I could say that. I think we could say that definitively at this point.
Well, especially since, you would feel terribly for Anthony Richardson and for the Colts as well if Daniel Jones now gets hurt when Richardson's on IR or is I don't know if I can't remember if they IR'd him or where he's out.
Yeah, missing the next couple of weeks. Yeah. Well, let's get back to your initial point though. We have to give. As much as it might be hard for some of us, we have to give Chris Ballard credit for this. He has to get credit for it.
Of course.
And Shane Steichen has to get credit for it, too. I do think that they knew that Jones was going to raise their floor, that he was going to be a better version of Gardner Minshew. I think they thought they could win 10, maybe if things broke the right way, 11 games. I don't think they could have possibly known that they were going to have an historic level offense and the best offense in the league with Daniel Jones. No one could have known that. Steichen's a confident guy, right? And he's obviously a very gifted offensive mind. He couldn't have possibly foreseen that the Colts would be this good, that they're scoring 33 points a game. Like, this is Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison, Edgerrin James, Reggie Wayne, Jeff Saturday, Tarek Glenn level, Dallas Clark, offensive production. It's insane. It's mind-boggling that they're doing this. So even if you were more optimistic than most about the Colts this year, you couldn't have foreseen that the offense
guy
would
you
be
haven't
this
mentioned?
good.
Tyler Warren.
Yeah.
Tyler Warren is the other centerpiece.
He's the tight end leader in receiving yards right now.
Tyler Warren is, when I say this, I'm going to admit that this is the dumbest analogy I've ever used in my life.
Wow, that's saying a lot.
Come on now. When I was a kid, I had an ant farm. Did you ever have an ant farm?
No, I hate bugs.
What?
Ugh.
Why
would I have an ant farm? I had a hamster.
Fascinating.
I had a hamster named Sonic, and then Sonic 2, and then Tails. They die every 6 weeks.
Most normal, naturally curious, intellectual kids had ant farms.
No, I did you have a pet rock?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, yeah. I mean, it was your generation.
Yeah.
It was kind of a weird. Gen X was weird.
The pet rock was one of the great scams of all time.
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah.
But if you have an ant farm, there's one ant. So, like all these ants, you got this ant farm, right?
Yeah, people know what an ant farm is.
And you drop in like one crumb, and there's one ant that like walks around with this crumb, and then every ant eventually gravitates towards it. It's like it's like the queen bee. It's like the center ant.
Okay.
And everything
king ant.
Everything is feeding off of this one ant because he's carrying the big breadcrumb and like is incredibly strong, and everything kind of gravitate towards it. And then all of a sudden, there's all these different tunnels that are opened up because they're all digging to get to this one ant, okay? Tyler Warren on the football field is the ant in the ant farm with the bread crumb because the entire defense, all of the defenders are having to go towards this one super strong ant that's carrying this crumb of the football or is afraid that he's going to get the crumb. And so as a result of that, it opens up all these pathways elsewhere for everybody else to go. Tyler Warren is the centerpiece of this offense in terms of spreading out the defense and opening things up for Josh Downs and for Michael Pittman and for Jonathan Taylor and for Alec Pierce and for that matter, even A.D. Mitchell, who's the one ant in the corner that you're wondering if it's actually still alive.
Yeah, he played 4 snaps.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. All of that is Tyler Warren is a centerpiece. He is the strong ant that is facilitating for everything within the ant farm.
I know it's only been 7 games.
But that's the best analogy you've ever heard.
But isn't it – it's not bad. Isn't it ridiculous that he was the second tight end? I mean, that's why the Bears are the Bears, right?
So Derek,
that's why the Chicago Bears are the Chicago Bears.
I watched the Bears on Sunday, and at one point there was a play. DeAndre Swift's a pretty good player, right?
Yeah.
And they showed a replay, and they're like, see Loveland right there? That's why he was the number 1 tight end selected. Look at this block. And I'm like, I get it.
He had 3 catches. Wow.
But, I mean, come on, right?
Yeah.
There is no – now, having said that, I will say this. That segues into another one of my favorite topics, by the way. And we have one topic today that I'm super excited to talk about in downtown Indianapolis that I want everybody on board with, and it's going to be cool. But we'll get to that in a minute. I'm curious of this because we're now a little over a third of the way through. Give me the 3 teams in the NFL, and I know this is a tired subject I come up with, but give me the 3 teams that right now you look at it and you go, do we have to admit they're good? Now, the Colts are one of them, okay? But we're in Indianapolis. Give me the other 3 that are like the Colts that you look at and you go, I think they might be decent. I didn't think they would be, but I think they might be decent.
Oh. Yeah, here's one, and this is going to sound very strange because obviously they're still, I think, the most polarizing team in the league, but their offense is really good. I think Dallas, if they could get things figured out defensively, I think they fell off the map, right? Because they had that terrible early start and they should have lost to the Giants and all that. And they're 3-3-1. Remember they had that tie. But I think Dallas could be there. I know that doesn't really fit your question because you're asking me about teams that are like surprise teams, right?
I'll give you one.
I think the Cardinals can be good.
See, I think the Cardinals are bad.
Really? I think defensively they're great.
I think the Cardinals were thought to be good, and we now have seen enough evidence where we're like, yeah, they're not.
I mean, they keep losing, which stinks, but I think they're better than what their record says.
I think Chicago might be decent.
Yeah.
It's starting to come around a little bit for Chicago, and I think they might be decent. I think Seattle is decent.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, Darnold's really good, and Darnold's done enough now where it's not a fluke.
And I'm trying to think they're okay.
I think the Falcons might be good.
That's decent. Yeah, they're defensively they're very
pretty good. And, Bijan and all that.
Now give me 3 teams that you're like, I think maybe it's a lost year.
I think the Texans stink.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the offensive line is a disaster.
By the way,
offensively,
Carolina is more competent than we give them credit.
Yeah, Carolina's a great one, actually. That one, I wish I would have thought of that.
Carolina's more competent than we give them credit. The New England Patriots are the poster child here.
Yeah,
right?
but I thought they were going to be good this year. So
Drake May's really good.
Yeah, I didn't think that they were going to be bad.
Now there are 3, in my opinion. There are 3 teams. So I do a pick 'em every week with 3 other guys, right? And by the way, this week I even showed Derek for proof. 14 of 15 correct. I got every game after Thursday correct. I should have parlayed
this.
It's
like the 50th time that Jake has mentioned this morning. First time on the show, but
would you
I walked in the door here at Hoagies and Hops. Hey, bud, guess what? 14 of 15.
But
okay.
There are 3 teams. I shouldn't give away my secrets here. There are 3 teams that automatically, when I'm picking the games, where I go, okay, who are they playing this week? Because that's
Titans. Yeah.
Titans are 1.
Titans.
That's 1.
Terrible.
2 others.
Jets.
The other one's so bad you forget about it.
Yeah, I don't know.
You just don't realize they're bad.
Oh, the Saints?
Yes.
Is that one? Okay. Gotcha.
Those 3 are terrible. And we don't usually have teams that are that disgracefully bad and so clearly the Jets. I mean, what in the world, man?
Yeah, and like, okay, can we give up on the whole Justin Fields thing now? I mean, come on. It's over. And that's fine that it's over. He could be a backup maybe somewhere. But, yeah, the Jets, it's just a bad organization. The Jets have been a bad organization. I'm 42 years old.
You had a starter jacket
for most of my life. Well, yeah, and I got a Vinny Testaverde jersey, and they had that one window like 90. with Parcells, like 98 to 2001, they were pretty. You know what? Through most of the 2000s, because Rex Ryan, right? They were at least like a competent team.
Sure.
They'd win 8-9 games. But now, I mean, them and the Giants, man.
Arguably, they're two deepest run, most successful quarterbacks in Jets history. One of them's pitching insurance, and the other one's in the Marion County Jail, right? Or was. He's out now.
Yeah, I mean, Ken O'Brien had a nice career.
Ken O'Brien was good.
O'Brien had a nice
Todd,
career. Yeah,
and obviously Testaverde, but Testaverde
and
played
Pennington
everywhere.
had a nice,
Pennington
decent
was a good
career.
player. Pennington
he had a
was a
decent
good
career,
player.
not just with the Jets, but he was a decent quarterback.
College basketball, NBA basketball getting underway. There's still a lot to get to.
College football as well. Let's bring on. Can we bring on the cheesesteaks? Can we do that while we're sitting here? Brant, can you be our server? I know we have to have him kind of come back around here, but the beauty of being here at Hoagies and Hops and Chili Water Tap Room, 42nd and Boulevard, is that we get everything fresh out the kitchen.
Derek, I think I see draft beer.
Fresh out the kitchen and draft beers.
Chili Water draft
beers. But we need that's a new one that I need Christina to tell us about. That's their new milk stout here at Chili Water.
Really?
Yeah. Just in time because it's getting like a little crisp.
Did you say it correctly?
Milk stout?
Milk.
Yeah, milk stout.
No, you say milk.
Thank you, Brent. Thank you.
This is
delicious.
So good.
This is the Zaire, which I'm not joking. This is Jake's favorite cheesesteak, right?
Does it have the mustard on there?
So, yeah. So we have the chopped ribeye, right? Delicious chopped ribeye that they do here. We got, this is wit, too, because I can see the onions on it. You got ketchup, mustard. Is there mayo on the Zaire? I'm trying to remember.
I don't think
Yeah, okay. Ketchup, mustard, salt, and pepper.
Zaire
Oh, we have the beers, too. Hold on. Let me take a bite. Oh, yeah.
This is perfection.
That is
Literally perfection.
You got a little. Yeah, you want me to get it for you? You got it? All right.
I don't know. Did I get it?
Okay, yeah, you got it. And then we have the beers here. Look at Brant. Brant's great. He's our ultimate ISC utility man. This is the new Haulin Oats Milk Stout from Chili Water Brewing. Isn't that perfect?
Listen, what's your favorite Hall & Oates song?
It's not unusual to be loved by anyone. What? Hall & Oats.
No.
They sang like lounge music, right?
Private Eyes. Sarah, Private Eyes, Maneater.
Can't go for that.
Can't go for that. No can do.
Can't go for that.
Method of Modern Love. Adult Education.
Private Eyes.
Private Eyes.
I always feel
They're
like
watching
somebody's watching
No,
me.
that's Naked Eyes. They sing. No. Totally different. Hall & Oates, two guys, one big mustache. You know, Hall & Oates kind of look like Bob and Tom.
Was Yamo B there, Hall & Oates?
What?
Or was that the McDonald guy? It's that yacht rock, right? That's what it is, Hall & Oates?
That is fabulous, by the way.
Yeah, really good. Milk stouts are like my favorite, especially this time of year when tis the season to be drinking that. Let me take one more bite and then we'll get to our hero of the week. Hang on.
Derek, you got to stagger this so that I can talk.
Well, the problem is that you're chowing away. Actually, look, I'm not normally a ketchup fan. It's an unnecessary condiment most of the time. But there's something about this where it's the tomato notes and then the salt and pepper. I'm usually not a salt guy either. But the salt and pepper, it kind of works. I'll give Zaire some credit. This is not my favorite one that they have on the menu, but it is really good still.
It's the best on the menu.
Yeah, so but you like ketchup and mustard because that's what you like. Hero of the week. I think this was an easy pick. We could have gone a Colts player, right? We could have gone down that road, or I don't know, Elijah Sarab we did last week, or Kurt Signetti because he got the contract extension. The hero of the week, because he turned in one of the greatest performances in sports history, is Shohei Ohtani. I mean, 3 home runs, 6 innings, shutout innings pitched. I think he gave up 2 hits. He struck out 10 in a clinching game. You know, not just the fact that it was game 1 or game 2, it was to clinch a sweep. The poor Brewers, God, they were just completely overwhelmed in that series. And I just don't think, like, the Ohtani thing, it felt like it was a 24-hour story and then it went away. And I think we're just doing a real disservice to what he just accomplished. It's far greater than anything Patrick Mahomes ever did or LeBron James ever did or Peyton Manning ever did.
I mean, no argument on any of that, right?
It's really, we throw this word around sometimes, unfathomable, It is unfathomable to think that somebody could pitch 6 shutout innings in this modern era where everything is so specialized and then come out and yoink 3 dingers.
Okay, Derek, I'm pointing this out only because Runner Bill pointed this out to me, and I looked it up, and it is staggering. Tony Collinger was a player for the Milwaukee Braves, and in 1966, he hit – they weren't in Atlanta by then, were they? Rake would know that. I think they were still in Milwaukee. But nonetheless, he had a game where he pitched against the Giants, 3 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, 3 bases on balls in a complete game, and hit 2 grand slams for 9 RBI. The difference being, and that's remarkable, the difference being, of course, this is an NLCS game where you're taking a guy that isn't even regularly in your rotation, and he goes out and immediately is the best pitcher in the series. And he is a controlling pitcher that completely silences the other team and then offensively hits a home run that, I kid you not, it actually
the second
hit.
home run, yeah.
His second home run hit. If you go to Angel Stadium in Anaheim, in the parking lot, there's this big, like, A, for the Angels with the halo thing on it. His home run hit that, and he doesn't play for the Angels anymore. He plays for the Dodgers, which is on the completely other side of Los Angeles. That was the most remarkable, at least in my lifetime, the most remarkable single-game performance in American team sport, arguably history. Especially
I don't think it's arguable.
Moment.
Yeah, and the thing is about that guy that you mentioned from the 50s, pitchers hit
60s.
back, or 60s, pitchers hit back then. Pitchers don't hit. Pitchers don't hit in games. We don't have that because it became so specialized that it got to the point where everybody started doing the DH because it was ridiculous to trot a pitcher up there to flail at 3 pitches. It looks stupid. That adds to the fact, like, Shohei Ohtani doing this in 2025 makes it more significant than had he done it in 1965 or 1925 or 1905. Baseball is different. Sports are different. It's not, you're not as well-rounded anymore because you hyper-focus on one thing. Like, we have kicking camps. We have snapping camps where kids go and they snap, and that's what they do all day, long snapper. That's all they do is snap footballs. Like, that's how specialized American sport and internationally have become.
I saw you snap after 3 Manhattans in New Orleans.
Would you relax on that story? Like, that was a great night. I was in a really good mood.
Oh, no, I know you were, but you snapped.
Well, I didn't like I thought we should have been on a higher floor for our room placement. I don't think we were treated like the VIPs that we were. We were Query and Schultz coming to the Final Four to do the show, and they should have rolled out the red carpet. The Doubletree in New Orleans should have rolled out the red carpet a little bit more than that.
They rolled out the red carpet. It was just shagged, right?
Well, that poor high school kid tripped on it and threw up and passed out before his buddy had to go get the wheelchair. Nan's Potato Salad
awesome.
Fundraiser, 100% of the funds go to myeloma research for Christina's Nan, so wanted to point that one out for all month long. And we still have the gift card giveaway, $30 Hoagies and Hops. Tweet us, at Schultz975, at Jake Query, your favorite Sando. Maybe it's the Zaire.
It's got to be the Zaire.
And tag both accounts. Tag Hoagies and Hops as well. And
Okay.
you'll be entered in the giveaway.
Right now, stop what you're doing. Pause this video and tweet to me. Jake, you are correct. The Zaire is the greatest sandwich made. And tag Hoagies and Hops. Do that. You're entered. And I'm telling you right now, it will change your life. You come in here, you get it. I mean, Hoagies and Hops is awesome anyway. Great atmosphere, beautiful facility, awesome little neighborhood. Christina's, everything about it's awesome. Chili water right here. You got the Haulin Oats. You got other beers on draft. You got them in the can as well, but draft is the way to go.
Yeah, draft is good.
All of it. And you get the $30 for the sandwich to have your sandwich, watch your games. They got screens in here. Awesome. Everything about what you're looking at right there. That right there, my friends, what you're looking at right there, that is neighborhood eatery right there to the absolute perfection. And $30. All you got to do. Tag me on Twitter. Do it to me. It's easier. Jake Query.
No, tag both of
I don't have numbers in there and all that. Just at Jake Query.
It's the radio station we got fired from. I could probably change it now that I don't have my blue check mark anymore. That's the reason I held on to it for so long was because I was verified. And remember the old days, you change your username, then you lose your check, and I wanted to hold on to my check. We come back. Vince is very happy So that means that we have good Pacers news.
Okay.
College football as well. Maybe we'll mix in some college hoops too. 'Tis the season, in fact. Hoagies and Hops, Chili Water Brewing, 42nd and Boulevard. It's Corey and Schultz, presented by Bailey and Wood Financial Group here on the ISC Sports Network.
Nice snap.
Mortgage is a snap. Duh.
Bailey and Wood, a lending hand for Wish TV Sports.
Hey, AC.
Nice snap.
Mortgage is a snap. Duh.
Bailey and Wood, a lending hand for Wish TV Sports.
Shout out to Brent. He just arranged all of our swag in a pleasing pattern here on the table. He's really helping out the show.
It's a very big finger.
So far today, doing a really great job. We've got the little Jags mascot. We've got our pals at Chateau, a couple hats, a couple of sweaters. We got Jake's Blue Jays hat, of course, and then Hoagies and Hops and our friends at Bailey and Wood Financial Group.
On this side of this, so we got Jaguars there. And by the way, your chance to have some fabulous chocolate and as well get tickets for IU men's and women's basketball coming up. But this right here should say, I'm with stupid. Remember those T-shirts from the 80s?
My God.
I'm
Stupid, so stupid. You're such an idiot.
Huh? No,
You're such a
you'd be
moron.
I'm with stupid, and then right there, right? But instead, it's we're loving on the Jags. Okay.
I have enriched your life emotionally, financially.
Okay.
There are a lot of things that I've done for you that I wish that you've recognized privately, which is great. I mean, you and I are best friends off the air, but on the air, you have to put up this facade like, well, he's a little guy, he's stupid, whatever, and put me down. And girls didn't like him; they thought he was creepy and weird. Where
That's true.
You know that none of that stuff is true.
Oh, I think
You know that none of that stuff is true. Bailey Wood Financial Group. What is true is that they're going to give you 5-star customer service. If you're looking to get pre-approved for your home mortgage, if you're looking to refi, call our friends at Bailey and Wood Financial Group, 855-350-HOME, BAWFG.com, or find a branch location near you. They've got 18, 19, 20. I don't even know what they're up to now. BAWFG.com to find a location near you if you just want to walk into the store. And they are wonderful partners of ours and wonderful partners in all of the central Indiana communities that they're a part of, based out of Whiteland and on the south side especially. But Mike Wood, just the nicest guy. And we'll get him back on the show here coming up soon because you've got to miss a show coming up here, right?
Yes, I will be gone November
18th.
Okay, and then I'm gone next week, and then I'm gone first week of December.
Well, where are you going?
Mexico. Yeah. We won it in a auction for school. So we're going with 5 other couples from James's class. We have the coolest parents group ever at St. Thomas Aquinas.
You're going on a couple's trip to Mexico?
Yeah. It's going to be amazing. There's a villa.
Like Porky's.
Okay, why do you have to be gross?
I'm just saying.
It's a chance for everybody to just kind of relax, and many of them have multiple kids, so they really want to get out. Not that they don't love their kids; they're all wonderful parents and wonderful people. But it's nice to just have a break where it's just the adults.
Anybody mention pineapples?
No, Pete, one of the guys that's going, mentioned tequila, and I'm a little bit worried about that because generally speaking, tequila makes me angry, and I don't want that.
What
for
about the worm?
trip.
Will you do the worm?
No, see, I don't want to do anything involved with tequila. I want to just crush a couple of high noons and relax.
Okay,
that's what I want to do on the trip.
That's high living. Yeah,
I'm in my 40s now. That's what's going out and drinking for me. Yeah, it's pretty sad.
You should do Surfside.
Yeah, those are good too. Those are good too. Yeah, those ones are good too. I would take a couple of chili water brews, but Customs would probably be like.
Who was it I was talking to who told me that their aunt developed Zima?
I don't know. I'd love to meet that person.
I think it may have been Jordan Patterson's wife, Katie.
Oh, really?
Her aunt invented Zima.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome. The thing about Zima, and you couldn't market it this way, Zima was a great starter alcohol. Like when you were like 16, 17 years old and you wanted to see, that's the thing. You can't market it because it's illegal, right? But like that was like a gateway. Well, you can't say gateway drug. That's bad too for marketing. it was a great first step for me in my alcohol journey. Does that make sense? Like Mike's Hard Lemonade and Zima, and then you're like, oh, wow, I like this, and this makes me feel good, and I'm having fun with my friends. And
I feel like I'm doing an after-school special. Like, honestly,
and then it
where
led me to the rest
Dolly
of my
Madison
life
snack cakes
with it.
We interrupt. Sorry, Oprah will not be seen today, so that we can bring you this special after-school special.
I don't know. I think people know
Derek
what I'm
and
talking
his
about.
gateway to debauchery. Brought to you
I
by
think people
Dolly
know
Madison snack cakes.
What I'm talking about.
What in the
Like,
world?
I wasn't ready to just start drinking whiskey right away. I still had braces, for God's sake, when I was 16. So I needed something that, like the training wheels on a bike, like you needed something to kind of guide you along.
Kids,
Before
don't listen to any of this, okay?
doing that.
Do you want to have a successful life? Do you want to be somebody that actually has appeal to the opposite sex? Do you want to
Yeah,
be
you should
somebody
not do this.
that has a
Yeah,
group of
that
friends
is true.
and doesn't gain weight in college by eating macaroni and cheese because you've been busted and given tickets for illegal substances within your dorm room? If that's the case, don't go down the path road, the garden path of destruction that is that of Derek Schultz. Yes, in fact, you too can grow beyond 5'6" and do so by sprouting yourself in a professional and, in addition to that, a responsible way that you can be proud of, as opposed to subjecting yourself to ending up doing a sports radio program talking about getting pinned by girls and bragging about showing up in parking lots where girls that you met on the internet never showed up and laughed at you.
That was
That's
the
what's
Hi-Ho
happening
Motel.
to you.
The Hi-Ho Motel off the Merritt Parkway.
The Hi-Ho.
Yeah, the Hi-Ho Motel.
Okay.
It's an historic hotel. Sorry, motel.
Do you believe that a Hi-Ho is actually your gateway into dating? Don't fall for that and be Derek Schultz. Lead for yourself a better, more productive life. Live like Jake.
I thought that was going to be a big night. That was not it was a memorable night, I guess, for all the wrong reasons.
Okay.
But yeah, no, don't do anything that I did. When I was 16, I was such an idiot when I was that age. Like, don't do any of that stuff. Seriously. Like, we talked about, I don't know how you always bring up cigarettes on this show. Ugh, it's awful. It's a disgusting habit, and it's expensive, and it's bad for you. Like, don't ever do any of that stuff. Like, you did stuff that you regretted as a kid, too. Like, don't make me all the bad guy here. You were the youngest. You got away with that. Your parents were checked out by the time that you were
That's
there.
the best.
So, yeah, like,
Yeah.
I was the oldest. I mean, I was the only son. So all of the attention was hyper-focused on me because my sisters were honor students, and they had their report cards on the fridge and all of that. And all right, let's get to sports. Vince is very happy. I'd mentioned that. Not happy about me drinking Zima when I was 17, but Aaron Nesmith gets a contract extension. This happened late on Monday night. We're taping this right now, early Tuesday morning. A max 2-year extension, nearly doubling his existing salary. But still, Jake.
He's still a bargain.
This is still a bargain. Like, maybe Aaron Nesmith, you could always have a terrible injury. Maybe you just, if you're him, at the end of the day, when you're making an obscene amount of money, what really is the difference between $11 million and $20 million, right? When you're in that tax bracket. I don't know, because I'm never going to experience something like that. And maybe he just doesn't want to worry about it. He wants to focus on basketball. But if I was his agent, I would be like, hey, like, you should hit the market after next year. Like $20 million to me, that is like the bare minimum of what you pay a competent starter in today's league. Like, that's where we are in the NBA. So $20 million to me is still an underpay for Aaron Nesmith, and it's certainly an underpay for how important he is to the Pacers. He's right at the peak of his prime. He's a 43% three-point shooter. He's an awesome defender. This is the beauty. In the wake of losing Miles Turner, this is what that happens, and it allows the Pacers to do. If you have to extend Turner, you're probably not able to extend Nesmith.
Let me tell you, let me give you a couple of things in my life that I love, okay? Would you like to guess one, Derek? A couple of things that Jake loves. Jake's loves.
You mean besides like Shannon?
That's one.
Okay. Traveling?
Traveling,
yeah,
one?
Talking to people randomly? Just talking to random people. That is a passion of yours.
Okay.
Yep.
Indianapolis Motor Speedway, right?
Yep, of course. Sure.
Firefly, the children's group.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love the work that they do.
You sponsor a kid every year, I feel like, for that Christmas.
I do. I love my cat, Boo, right?
Boo. I forgot about Boo, yeah.
I love Aaron Nesmith. I mean, I love this guy. Not just as I'm not going to be one of those that's like, great player, even better person. I'm not like
I mean, I assume he's a
hanging out
nice
with
guy. Yeah.
I'm not hanging out with him, but everything I've ever heard comes from a great family, super good teammate, really smart guy, reads a lot. Yes, I love me some me. I love if I had to personify myself as an NBA player, it's Aaron Nesmith, because I have equal love for both. I love Aaron Nesmith and what he brings to the table, because this is a guy that doesn't need plays to run through him to score. This is a guy that doesn't need necessarily to even be told when defensively it's his job to switch over or rotate or get the best player, whatever it may be. He does everything that you need to win basketball games. He does everything without even having to worry about the glory, the headline, any of it. Aaron Nesmith is what every championship team has, an Aaron Nesmith on their roster. And if the Pacers are going to continue on the trajectory that they are presumably going to do once Tyrese Halliburton comes back and is healthy, Aaron Nesmith is as important a piece as anybody on that roster. Now, by extending him, it means that you are holding off on the discussion of what you're going to pay Benedict Mathurin. And I understand that. And Benedict Mathurin is a guy that I think is a prolific scorer that is going to score a lot of points for them this year. But what they have to figure out is whether or not that scoring is coming in a system and in a design that then facilitates or meshes in with what they want to do once they are back to full strength. And so for that reason, Benedict Mathurin, they're holding off on giving him that deal.
I'm just not worried about the Mathurin thing. I'm just not. It'll work the way that it's going to work. If he has a great season, at the end of the day, that's great, even if it means that he prices himself out and hits the market. Gun to my head, do I think Ben Mathurin is going to be a Pacer after this year? No, I don't.
I would agree.
I don't think that. I think they might trade him. I feel confident that whether it's a trade or him just walking, that he's not going to be part of their long-term plans. But I was getting some tweets from it last night. Nesmith means they can't sign Mathurin. Okay. This is you file this in the good problem to have category, right,
yes,
Jake?
You have known that this was going to be mathematically a challenge.
Look,
right?
the Astros couldn't keep Bregman and Springer and all these guys. It doesn't mean that they're not still a great. I know they missed the playoffs this year, but
Springer sent the Blue Jays to the World Series.
Yeah, I know he did a great job there. He's a great player. But yeah, Nesmith is so critical to what they do, and it got overshadowed because of Halliburton and the choke sign and the whole deal. The reason they won Game 1 in New York was because of Nesmith.
No question.
That's the reason they won Game 1.
No question.
It almost gets filed away into like the Travis Best against the Bucks shot for the Pacers, where you have to remind yourself that Nesmith went on this crazy run of 3-pointers. And who knows, Jake? They might not win the series if they don't win Game 1. That changed the entire, because the Pacers were from a position of strength for the rest of the series because they had that comeback in Game 1.
That's right.
And Nesmith was a huge, massive part of that.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I was glad to see it happen. I'm glad that they got it done. Pacers are smart, and they know, thinking ahead, that $20 million is going to age well. $11 million, my God, that was the biggest bargain deal in the NBA the last couple of years for him. And now through 29, man, that's 3 seasons. 26,
Derek.
27, 28. Wait,
Aaron,
that's
Aaron
more than
Nesmith,
that. Yeah.
Aaron Nesmith in that Knicks game was rapid fire threes, right?
Mm-hmm.
What, he hit like 4 or 5 of them in that last, just boom, 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 boom,
Yep.
boom, right? I'm telling you right now, that is what the IU Indy men's basketball team is going to look like under Ben Hallett.
Okay.
They're going to be fast-paced. They're going to be furious. They're going to be nonstop action up and down the floor. Now, did you see how I did that? They look like an SNL skit. Up and down the floor. But the Jags of IU Indy for basketball, I'm telling you, maybe it takes them a year to perfect the system itself. Things don't just happen overnight. But this coach and what they have and what they're building in men's basketball in downtown Indianapolis at the location of the old tennis center, they're building a new arena. It's going to be right there on campus. Kids are going to be able to walk right over, go to the games, and they're going to be going and watching players that are putting up points and putting them up with gusto. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to make this prediction. I'm going to make it right now, okay? The Jag. The Jag is awesome, is it not? Hello. I'm telling you right now, here's my prediction. Within the next 18 months, there is going to be a time on a national perspective where IU Indy men's basketball is being discussed. because they're going to be that team that's going to go to this rise, and people are going to go, it's going to be like what Indiana State did 2 years ago. It's going to be like what Kurt Cignetti's done currently in Bloomington. This is going to be the story where people are like, how in the world did they find this coach from a smaller school that came in, brought this system, and it has the Horizon League on their ear? I'm telling you. And you're going to have your chance to meet that coach, by the way, as part of our Jags report. It's not part of the Jags report that you can meet him, but you can nonetheless if you go to Kilwins and Fishers, okay? He's going to be an honorary chocolatier. I'm talking about Ben Hallett, who is the new head basketball coach. What's that?
Be a chocolatier?
Would you be a good chocolatier?
Oh, yeah, I'd be excellent at it.
You'd only be able to make the kisses, though.
I'm very meticulous. I would be.
Okay.
I would make some kisses.
He's going to be a guest chocolatier for the evening coming up on the 27th of October, which my math tells me I believe is a Monday. Okay, Monday night. You go there, and you go to meet Ben Hallett, the new coach of IU Indy, on Monday evening the 27th. And not only when you buy a product, you get to meet the coach, but you also, in buying a product, you're going to get a ticket for men's or women's basketball for IU Indy. And when you do so, you're going to come back from that game and you're going to say, I just saw a brand of basketball that I've not seen in a long time around here, and this is up and down, fast-paced, shooting threes, scoring points, and people are on board. I'm telling you right now, that's my prediction.
It's the style of basketball that fits how you feel after you eat chocolate.
That is correct.
Or it's up-tempo.
That is correct.
I mean, winners win, right? And Haulin did a lot of winning on the D2 level.
Volleyball's been the hottest team in the Horizon. They'd won 5 straight, had the IU Indy volleyball team, the Jags, as part of our Jags report. Here, Derek, shake the pom-pom, will you? Let me get the pom. I'll get the pom-pom.
You want me to do the Jag duty?
I do love the Jag duty.
Jag duty?
By the way, they had won 5 straight, but then they had a tough one up in Wisconsin, losing to Green Bay and Milwaukee. But no worries. Matches still Friday, 6 o'clock in the jungle. Friday, 6 o'clock in the jungle. Saturday, 2 o'clock in the jungle. And here's the cool part about it. If you go online right now, iuindyjags.com/tickets. That's iuindyjags.com/tickets. When you go to buy your tickets to go watch the volleyball team, again, it's been one of the hottest teams in the Horizon League, right? Getting back on the winning side of things Friday at 6 and then Saturday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Use the code word BOGO25. BOGO, what the kids say, buy one, get one. BOGO25. You do that, guess what? Free soccer tickets for Saturday at 5 o'clock, Michael Carroll Stadium, to watch college soccer.
And that's senior day.
College soccer. It is, in fact, senior day. Women, by the way, on the soccer side of things, did drop 2 of them on the road. They were up in Green Bay in Milwaukee. I was wrong. Volleyball, by the way, losing to Youngstown State, the Penguins. But it was women's soccer that were up in Wisconsin, dropped 2 of them in Wisconsin. But no worries, they're back home. And it was a hard-fought one against Northern Kentucky as well. But senior day for the men, Saturday at 5 o'clock. And then women are at Oakland Saturday at 3. So men at home, 5 o'clock, Saturday, senior day. And your chance to see it free by getting volleyball with it. So you go to volleyball, you go over, you watch soccer, you're watching Division I athletics, and you're sending the women on their way for the best of luck on the road at Oakland Saturday at 3 for the Jags report. But again, a reminder, Monday, Kilwins, Fishers, meet Ben Hallett, get your ticket, get chocolate, and go Jags. All part of our IU Indy Jags report, iuindyjags.com/tickets.
We come back from Hoagies and Ops, Chili Water Brewing.
Okay.
Can you not do that? Thanks. Quick hits, Chateau Kitchens,
was a quick
buy
hit.
it or bull bleep. If that touches me again, we're going to have a problem. And it's been a while since I've been in a bar fight.
Okay.
Whiskey
was involved?
Presented by Bailey & Wood Tequila.
Tequila,
Bailey & Wood
sorry.
Financial Group here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Bailey & Wood.
Welcome back. Thanks so much to our friends at Chili Water Brewing Company and, of course, Christina and her entire crew at Hoagies and Hops for having us. Show number 3 from our new
All
home
Oats, baby.
for Query and Schultz, 42nd and Boulevard, Chili Water Tap Room, and right behind us, the delicious Sando Shop, Hoagies and Hops, hoagiesandhops.com
Have you
for
ever thought
catering
about
and their entire menu.
how lucky we are to be able to do that? Honestly. I mean, Derek, have you ever thought about, when we were let go from the radio show, and we were fairly convinced, both of us, it was over. And to be able to not only continue to do this show and have the great folks at ISC helping out and believing in us, but to have the sponsors on board that we're able to represent and have become friends with, including now being able to do the show at Hoagies and Hops with Chili Water here, drinking the Haulin Oats. we're very lucky to be able to do it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I mean, I remember I was coming in here for a long time because I've always lived here. And Susan Decker, a mutual friend of ours, is the PR person for Christina. And I had reached out to Susan during the St. Elmo cocktail eating contest that they were doing downtown for Big Ten Championship. And I said, hey, we were looking for some new sponsors for Corey and Schultz. And, like, I go into Hoagies and Hops all the time. And I know Christina's from Philly. And, like, would she be interested? And Susan was like, well, here's her phone number. And, you could send her some stuff and see what she wants to do. So I randomly texted Christine. I'm like, hi, my name's Derek. I love your Sando shop. And, Jake Query, who's a little less established than I am, he and I have this show. And
that was the selling point, right?
We wanted to, that you were less established than me. Yeah. We're thinking about, we'll eat a sandwich on the air and talk about how awesome it is. And then also kind of tie it into sports.
And then you dropped an F-bomb.
I did. That was, for this show, that was the equivalent of Pat McAfee jumping in the canal. At the time, I was very embarrassed by it, and I thought, oh, God, like, Christina's not going to want to sponsor the show anymore, and we're screwed. And it was the best thing that ever happened to this relationship because people just went crazy for it.
I don't think so.
Christina loved it as well.
No, it was,
and it was the best thing that ever happened.
It was the biggest compromise of our professionalism
this relationship.
ever, but that's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, there are a couple of things.
Nonetheless, we are
thrilled
and honored to be able to represent all of the clients that we have.
Let's get to our quick hits. We had already mentioned the Jays off to the World Series. Best wishes to Matthew Graves.
Yes.
A little bit of a scary situation. He's Indiana State's head basketball coach entering his second season. He's taken a leave of absence, however, learning he would need triple bypass surgery. The 50-year-old recently visited the hospital for an evaluation, and after experiencing tightness in his chest, and doctors determined that he would need surgery. So at least they're ahead of it, right? I mean, Jake, you know about this because you have a terrible heart. You want to be proactive about your heart health.
Derek, Matthew Graves, in credit to Union Hospital in Terre Haute, you are correct. He had the symptoms, tightness in the chest, went in. They determined that he needed triple bypass. And the good news is, as of this morning, the family announcing, and thanking everybody for the well wishes and announcing that the surgery was deemed to be a success. And Matthew Graves now will rebound from that, obviously, and go through the journey of, everything that goes into getting back for cardiovascular health. But very important to obviously read the signs, to understand the symptoms, get a heart scan, do all of the things that are important. And Matthew Graves, we certainly wish him the best.
Great guy. Do you remember, I want to say it would have either been New Orleans or Atlanta. I don't remember.
I think it was Atlanta.
Okay, one of the Final Fours that we went to, we had a layover.
Correct.
And we were at like a TGI Fridays, or a crappy airport restaurant. And Matthew Graves comes rolling his suitcase by, and we flagged him down. And I think he would have been with South Alabama then.
He had just gotten the job there, I think. Yeah.
But, like the Final Four is like a coach's convention. So every coach on all levels comes to the Final Four, and he was wheeling his suitcase, and he sat down. We must have spent an hour and a half with him, and we were just he was telling old war stories, and could not have been, and we've interacted with him besides just then, but could not have been a nicer guy.
I remember the thing, too, is he kept leaning, and this is how you knew he's a nice guy. He kept leaning into me and saying, what's that guy's name again? And he didn't want to ask you, which is nice, right? Sign of a nice guy.
He did say, see ya, Chief, at the end, and I thought,
big guy.
That's a little weird.
Take care, bud.
Tragic ending. God, this player's younger than me, and so especially tragic. Did you see about Doug Martin?
I saw that he had passed, and then now more is coming out about that. Right?
Former All-Pro running back with the Buccaneers. He died in police custody. I've not seen other details outside of the fact that he was at a residence. The police were called. That was not his own, and then he passed some time in custody. He was only 36 years old.
Wow, that's all. Okay.
You don't want to speculate, but like there was talk about his parents saying that maybe there were some mental health issues there.
Right.
And is it CTE? Is it football related? We don't know. But God, 36 years old, and he was 2015. He was one of the best running backs in the league.
Yeah.
And just awful. You think about Demaryius Thomas was honored this weekend. Like these guys are young. And passing away. So a terrible thing, thoughts with his family and fans of Doug Martin because he was a prominent NFL player.
He's a good player, yep.
Yeah. Do we have one more break before Chateau? I'm trying to remember. Okay, so let's fit in the last break. Chateau Kitchen's Biter Bowl Bleep, and then we'll wrap this thing up when we return here. Hoagies and Hops, Chili Water Brewing Tap Room. It's Query and Schultz, presented by Bailey Wood Financial Group here on ISC.
Hey, AC.
Nice snap.
Mortgage is a snap. Duh.
Bailey and Wood, a lending hand for Wish TV Sports.
Hey, AC.
Nice snap.
Mortgage is a snap. Duh.
Bailey and Wood, a lending hand for Wish TV Sports.
Back for a final time here on Query and Schultz, presented by Bailey Wood Financial Group. Thanks to our tremendous crew. We got Vince in the truck. We got Rake in the truck. We got Charlie right here. We got Brant handing us Sandos and beers and arranging all of our swag as well. IC crew,
Arranging all of our swag.
always great to work with, and we appreciate their efforts in coming down here, bringing the van, and making sure that our signal gets to you here on episode 258 of Query and Schultz. We also appreciate Chateau Kitchen, chateaukitchens.com, at Chateau Kitchens on Instagram and Facebook for before and after pictures of their latest projects. They're in the business of in-home transformations, kitchens, bathrooms, basements. You could do so with Chateau Kitchens, and Stephen Moore and his team will take care of you. They are awesome. The design process is seamless. You go and you pick out your hardware and tile and carpet if you're doing carpet, or flooring if you're doing flooring. It's actually really fun. I as much as, you know, when you have an in-home renovation while you're living in it, obviously it can be a little bit hectic, right, for lack of a better term. But the process, you know, Chateau does make it fun and allows you to personalize it yourself while also giving their expertise along the way, not only from their builders and their contractors, but also from their in-house designers. I remember we had Victoria for our kitchen project. We've had Megan for a couple of different projects as well, and they do amazing work. ChateauKitchens.com. Biter Bobley. Statement number one: Jonathan Taylor is the greatest running back in Indianapolis Colts history. Biter Bobley.
No, that's bullshit. He's a great player. Did you say Indianapolis Colts history?
Yes.
I still think you've got to go with Edgerrin James because of the totality of what James did. I think James' ability to block blitzes. Taylor's become better as well at catching the ball out of the backfield. But, you know, Eric Dickerson symbolically, you know, Derek, how I feel about that, and just in terms of what he represented. And Joseph Adai was an underrated player. Marshall Faulk, in the short time that he was here, was a dynamic player, but that was the only thing they had. I would say Taylor is second behind James.
Yeah, I would agree with that ranking. Taylor, just these past 7 games, has become reminiscent of Edgerrin James.
Yes.
You know, the thing about Taylor, and as great as 2021 was just him as a running back. And that's really what his career had been coming to this year. He's not known for blocking. He's not known for catching the ball. He can run,
right,
but he can't do the other things. And now he's doing the other things at a high level. And Edgerrin James, while he may not have been, even though he was a great runner too, while he may not have had the season that Taylor had in 21 running the ball, he was just a more complete back. So, but Taylor's getting there, Jake. I mean, I have to put him ahead of Falk and Dickerson just for the longevity aspect of it at this point.
That's fair.
But he's looking like a first-team All-Pro with the way that he's playing right now. Statement 2, Ohio State and Indiana will stay number 1 and number 2 for the rest of the regular season.
Yes, and in addition to that, Ohio State will beat Indiana in the Big Ten championship game, and then the Indiana Fighting Hoosiers. The Indiana Hoosiers. Indiana will go to the Big Ten title game. Ohio State will defeat Indiana in a magical day on December 6th at Lucas Oil Stadium. Indiana and Louisville in basketball same day. Indiana, Ohio State in football that night. Ohio State narrowly defeats Indiana. And then Indiana comes back and gets them back in the national championship. And Kurt Signetti and the Hoosiers are your college football national champions.
What sucks about that clip is that if we save that and you're right and it goes viral, you'll be wearing a Blue Jays hat and people will be like, what the hell is this? It'll look weird.
Do you want me to do an alternate version?
Yeah, no, I think
Okay.
Ohio State and IU will stay 1 and 2. I'm not going to make any brash predictions about playoffs.
I'm going to make Derek a brash prediction.
I mean, obviously they're both going to be.
I'm
going
to predict right now on this, the 20th of October, 2025. My name is Jake Query. That Ohio State and Indiana are going to face off on December 6th at Lucas Oil Stadium in the Big Ten Championship game. And in the day where Indiana plays Louisville in basketball that day in downtown Indianapolis, it's going to be magical. But Ohio State is going to narrowly defeat Indiana in that game. And Ohio State, who is tremendous, and Ryan Day, who probably hasn't even put his foot all the way down in the accelerator, that team is loaded. And Ohio State then as the Big Ten champions, and believe you me, if your neighbor hasn't told you by now 36,000 times that he went to The Ohio State University, he will after that. But it is a precursor for Indiana to get the last laugh, because the Indiana Fighting Hoosiers will then turn around and they will revenge their lone loss, and they will defeat Ohio State to win. Kurt Signetti and Indiana will win the national championship.
All right. That's on tape. So we're good. We'll save that clip. I'd ask Vince to do it, but he'll forget. Statement 3, Purdue will be a Final Four team here in Indianapolis.
Boiler up. Yes.
That'd be cool. I mean, it was so cool when Butler
their
was
pre-conference
here and did it.
schedule is loaded. They're ducking nobody. And
That's
you
how
know
they
what?
do it, though.
Fine, bring it on. Bring it on, because they got more players coming in. Matt Painter's got it rolling. They have the best player in college basketball probably in terms of the guy that's going to be the all-time assist leader in college basketball, in Braden Smith. They got Fletcher Lawyer that can shoot threes. They got Trey Kaufman-Wren that does whatever you need him to do. They're adding pieces to it. The Purdue Boilermakers finally get over the hump this year.
Yeah, Oscar Clough, and I mean they've made some additions too. I think Jakari Harris is going to have a big year. They have 2 4-year senior All-American players,
correct,
which is so rare to have now. You know, guys that have been in the program that long. So yeah, I mean, I think it's so hard to do because it's a single elimination tournament, but they're going to have a great chance to make the Final Four, obviously. And it'd be really cool to have them here in Indy like Butler was, even though Butler was kind of its own thing because it was such a fairy tale for people nationally that didn't realize how good they were.
Okay, I have one left.
Yeah.
One left for you. Buy it or Bullschultz. You ready?
Yeah.
The World Series will go beyond 5 games.
Yeah. I'd take the Dodgers in 6. Take the Dodgers in 6. I think they're a better team. Thanks to our great
I've
ISC
been a diehard
crew.
Blue Jays fan for 7.5 weeks now.
Thanks to everybody here at Chili Water and Hoagies and Hops. Thank you to want to thank Bailey and Wood Financial Group, our presenting sponsor of the show, Hoagies and Hops and Chili Water Brewing, IU Indy Athletics, as well as Chateau Kitchens. For Jake, I'm Derek.
Monday night, go get your chocolate and your tickets.
We'll see you next time here at Hoagies and Hops Chili Water Brewing on Query and Schultz on ISC.
At Bailey & Wood, we pride ourselves on our 5-star customer service. But at our core, we're a family. Family owned, and family to our customers, staff, and our community. From charity events to recognizing hometown heroes, we prioritize giving back to our communities that have always supported our growth. So let us help you get your dream home today.